Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mount Scott Community Center, first and second floor corridors art purchase opportunity. Um, I feel like we're on a game show. Your two hosts for the next X amount of minutes is myself, Salvador Mayoral. I use he, him pronouns. I am the Senior Public Art Project Manager at Regional Arts and Cultural Council, and I am one of two people that'll be working on this project, along with my colleague.
Hi there, y'all. I'm Mario Mesquita. I am also a project manager, but I also play another role, which is the manager of advocacy and engagement here at RAC. So we're excited to present to you our next opportunity.
Awesome. I'm excited because this is the first time Mario and I are working together on a project like this. So this is very fun for myself, and I hope it's fun for you all as we share this with you. So I'm going to bring up my PowerPoint that I have for everyone. Let me see here really quickly. And is this it? There it is. Okay. And actually, I recognize I have it on a different slide. So, oh, actually, let me do this. There we go. Now we're teeing it up. Um, so here we go. This is the first part. Just for folks that don't know, this is architectural rendering of the new what's going to be the new community center entrance. Um, that is going to be slated to open up late summer, fall of next year. Um, so yeah, and actually, I have more architectural renderings we'll share with you. So I will stop there.
And that's summer and fall of 2025, right?
That's right. Yes.
Okay. Well, of course, we're going to try to explain everything that you need to know about the ins and outs about this. So we already introduced ourselves, Sal and I. We're also going to run through some accessibility, talk a little bit about RAC, and a little bit more about Mount Scott Community Center, along with the goals and opportunities that we will be presenting. And of course, there's always eligibility parameters along with an explanation on how to apply through our portal. And then, of course, the selection process and timeline that we'll be running through as well. So, of course, we offer accessibility and different types of assistance. We're here to support everyone in our community who would like to apply for this opportunity. So that means we also are able to provide some technical assistance navigating the application portal or preparing attachments, translation of materials or applications. We do offer large print materials and materials in alternate formats, interpretation services, as well as process accommodations for people with disabilities, and captioning, which you should be seeing here. So RAC offers key services, and we are always here to serve our community through grants, different opportunities for artists and organizations to continue their work here in our community, public art, so all of the, well, most of the statues that you might be seeing out there in the public in some way are taken care of or maintained by us. We do a lot of advocacy work, whether it mean grassroots, connecting with individuals and organizations, but all the way up to our state capital as well. And we continue to offer resources like this, little learning opportunities for arts individuals and organizations to get more information. But also, we lend everybody a listening ear when you need it.
Yes.
Of course, RAC's mission is to enrich our communities through arts and culture, which is exactly what we are doing here. As many of you already know, we are a nonprofit, 501c3, and continue to provide grants for artists and nonprofit organizations, maintaining an acclaimed public art program, convening forums. We continue to do some networking events and gathering in the communities as well. We want to emphasize that RAC advocates for equity and inclusion and access. working to build a community in which everyone can participate in culture, creativity, and the arts here in our area. Also, follow us on IG if you haven't yet done that at Region AL Arts.
And Mario and I will also be doing, hopefully, more explanation of this opportunity in the coming weeks, or I should say November for folks specifically, around this and potentially on Instagram Live. So, public art. Okay, so as Mario pointed out, that is one of the things, and I would actually say is one of the biggest things that we do at the organization. The program has been around from the very inception of the organization back when it used to be a bureau that was shared between the county, Multnomah County and City of Portland. So as you can see on this list here, we do a number of things that include temporary programs, projects. We do curate and grow our 2D collections, which this is actually a part of that, that are called Visual Chronicle and the Portable Works. We do also collaboration, as Mario pointed out, with other community organizations. We also have a murals program and a bunch of other stuff. All of that is funded, well, I should say a lot of it is funded through the Percent for Art program. And if for folks that don't know, Percent for Art is an ordinance that basically says 2% of capital construction projects that are both happening at the City of Portland and Multnomah County go towards art. And that's actually what's funding this project at Mount Scott Community Center. I just wanted to make it one word. I think that's what was going on there. So let's talk about Mount Scott Community Center. So this right here is at the corner of Southeast 72nd and Harold Street. Mount Scott itself has a park right there, Mount Scott Park. And then right in that same block where the park is at, there is this community center and a long-standing community center that has been there for decades. So part of what is happening there is that they're retrofitting the building because there's been a lot of new iterations of the center that have occurred over the last, I would say, 50 plus years. And so those pieces of the building were not retrofitted. So they're taking care of that. They're also renovating and expanding the center to expand its services and its programming needs that it wants to do at that space. So part of what that means is that it's going to be, it already has a gym, it's going to be offering a bigger gym. It has an indoor pool. It has a roller skating rink that's actually in the basement. It's going to be able to expand its exercise and fitness classes. They're going to be adding preschool programs, day camps, art and music classes, spaces, I should say, for all of these things, teen activities, private parties. They are going to be creating a big community gathering space. And then, of course, for folks that want to use it for parties, such as birthday parties or any other kind of rentals. Part of the benefits of renovating the space will bring more light to the interior spaces. As you can even tell in this rendering, there's just a lot more natural light that's going to be able to be visible and shining through that in a way just wasn't there before. It's going to be improving ADA accessibility. That includes an elevator that's going to be now put into the space, wasn't there before. So folks can go from the roller skating rink in the basement all the way to the second floor and its amenities and classrooms. It's going to be expanding the recreational programming by adding a lot more meeting classrooms and this new event hall. The construction began at the very beginning of this year in January, and it's expected to be completed in summer of 2025. And that actually goes along with the timeline of this opportunity. And I'll say a little more exactly what that looks like later in the slide. The center is the only community center that serves the southeast area west of 82nd Avenue. This is a big deal. A lot of communities go to this center because of that. And the nearest one that you'll find is going to be out either in Way East Portland, Southwest, or in northeast. So this is definitely serving a huge demographic. Many of those communities living in the area are identified as BIPOC, households with children and people living in poverty, low income. So this place really is really valuable. And it means a lot of people are going to be going through these halls where the artwork will be. So it's also informing part of what we're going to be talking about with this opportunity. So I wanted to show this really quickly because these are the proposed floor plans that the architect team has put together. Hopefully you could see my cursor in this, but these areas are really the renovated spaces that are going to be happening at the center. And what we're looking at for this opportunity particularly are going to be these red lines that you see here. So this is the first floor, this is the second floor, and this is actually where the opportunity for these purchases of 2D artworks are going to be at. You'll notice on the first floor, it's right along the preschool classrooms and the teen center. And on the second floor, it's right along where they're going to be having just more classroom spaces, but also there are more gathering spaces as well. Multi-purpose room is what they're calling it. So those are the 5 distinct walls that we're looking at. I also wanted to run through just quickly some of the other renderings of the space so folks get an idea. We ran a call earlier this year for an opportunity actually at this space here, which is the stairwell and main lobby area. We selected an artist, Isabella Saavedra, who's going to be creating a work that's going to be along the stairwell on the first, second floor, as well as maybe going even into sort of the basement area. So that's something that's already in progress and happening right now. And now we're looking for other artwork to purchase that's going to be in some of the other spaces in the center. Here are just some more renderings of the site, including these expanded gym areas and classrooms. I'm going to actually go and talk a little more about these because these are going to be the areas where we're looking for artwork specifically to be installed at. Um, so what is a call for art in this case? Basically, we're inviting artists to submit finished work that's going to be for purchase. Uh, Part of how we do that is with a panel that's been looking at artwork already for this site, which included selecting Isabel Saavedra. And that is comprised of curators, arts administrators, community members, as well as the park staff and the architect team. So this process will also be going through rounds, I should say, of vetting, and we'll talk also a little bit about that later in this presentation. So particularly what we're looking for are unframed, ideally. Framed is possible, but ideally unframed 2D works on paper. And that can include original and finished prints, paintings, photographs, drawings, textiles, fiber arts, weavings, carvings, collage, bas-relief, mosaic, glass, ceramic, metal, all of this to be intended to be hung on a wall. It's really important that when you apply, think about your submission likely being behind frame glass. And particularly, we like to use museum acrylic so that it preserves the artwork. Plexiglass. And our preference is for works that are 30 by 40 by 4-inch depth or smaller. And that complies with both the amount of space that we have on the wall, as well as ADA accessibility for folks. So this opportunity is part of, just like I mentioned earlier, a larger art plan that we've been creating for this, which included that stairwell wall. And here are those renderings again, particularly of the first and first and second floor, I should say, corridors. So this is the first floor, and this is the northeast wall. And these are the 2 areas that we're looking at. And then on the second floor, again, northeast wall, these are the 3 walls that we're looking at. So, oh, I went back. Here is what it looks like with just more detail. So that first level floor, we have the first wall that's going to be a little over 41 feet long. second wall is going to be about 12 and a half feet long. And then the second floor has those three walls. One of them is a little more than 25 feet long, another that's almost 15 feet long, and another that's around 13 feet long. And you'll notice that there will be on the middle wall on the second floor and the first very long wall on the first floor, they are intending to have monitors that are going to be offering just information around the center, around its programming. So that's something we're also keeping in mind here. And then here's just another way to look at it through the renderings. You'll see here in the red, these are just the carved out spaces that we're looking at for these artworks that we're going to be purchasing. So what is a collection? The collection began about 25 years ago, Portable Works Collection, and right now has at least over 1,600 pieces of art. Part of what we intend with these collections is to reflect the diversity of a population's that especially where the work's going to be, approaches to art and point of view. Again, because this particular center is servicing such a diverse population, we want the artwork to speak to it. So as part of that, when an artwork is purchased for this particular portables collection, it circulates in publicly accessible city and county spaces, which is why it's going to be here at this particular space, Mount Scott Community Center. And we intended to be there, actually, I should say, for a very long time. So this is something also just really important to think about. All submitted original artwork must be completely finished. It's dried or sprayed, and must be in suitable condition for framing or for public presentation. So just know that that's also part of this collection, is that all that work is in that state. We do not encourage folks to submit artworks that have conservation issues. So if there's a rip, there's a tear, it's peeling, it's flaking, there's been water damage, do not think about submitting it. Part of us is to ensure that the artwork that we get stays in intact and a maintained state, and we ensure that it does throughout the life of it. So we definitely don't want to start with any of those conservation issues at the beginning. And yeah, if we do see something that has been submitted, we do reserve the right to not accept it, basically, if it doesn't meet our collection standards. These are just a number of slides that you'll see that are examples of what we have accessioned and purchased before into the Portables collection. So you'll see some examples of oil paintings, prints, multimedia, acrylics, textiles. Yeah. RAC is committed to engaging new communities of artists and expanding the range of artistic and cultural expression in the city's public art collection. We are looking specifically for artists that are based in Oregon, ideally from the Portland metro area, but Oregon in general and the Southwest Washington area. And that part of why we do that is because we want artists. We know that Vancouver is part of the Portland metro area, and we do not want to forget our folks across the river in the Washington side. We have a budget that's 85,000. A big portion of that is going to be going to framing. So we are allocating that as part of this budget, but also a portion of it is just the outright purchase of the works. And, one of the things I have learned about doing these kinds of calls and being part of the program over the years is that if you're an artist that's like looking at this and you're like, but I've never had a, work of mine before in a public collection, guess what? This is the opportunity for you to do that. We have noticed that most artists' first introductions of their work being into a collection is through these kinds of calls, the portable works. It's the first time that most people have anything submitted and purchased, and they can say they are part of a public art collection. more so than, you know, if they do something that's at a bigger scale and something that's more exterior based. This is one of, I would say, the most accessible ways artists can become part of a collection. So if you've never been part of one, do not worry about it. This is the opportunity for you. We are looking for you. And like I said, we are looking for artists that have not only are emerging, I would say, in that way, but again, have different life experiences and points of view. Again, this community center is serving a huge portion of Southeast, which has lots of communities. And so we want to make sure we're capturing that through the acquisition of artworks that are coming from the diverse folks in our community. So the portal and the application materials, we are looking up to 6 images that you would submit as artworks that you would like us to consider for purchasing. Descriptions are helpful. Um, Statement of interest. There will be prompts in the actual call that you probably will have seen by the time you're looking at this. Respond to those. And if you don't have a professional website, link to your social media. That also helps. We're trying to find an online portfolio, right, that the panel can take a look at and get a sense of your style and a sense of your practice. I would also say that you think about how you present your images, think about what you say in your statement of interest. This is the first time that most panelists will ever experience your work. Through this first round of application reviews. So think of it as like, you know, first impressions when you're like doing an interview. It's how you look. Well, the same thing would be like, is how you're preparing this. This is going to make a huge impression before they get to look deeper into, you know, um, the actual artwork that they're going to be considering. So pay some attention, pay some mind to this. This is what the portal site looks like. If you've never created an account before, you can. You would need to create a profile, and then from there you can find the opportunity. You can also reach out to us if you have any questions about that. I have somebody's name here that you will see later on. Yeah, but it's pretty simple once you are create a profile and find the opportunity, and then from there it just takes you step by step about how to apply. So I'm going to step back. Mario.
Yes. And don't forget the deadlines because there's always timelines to remember. So the deadline to submit your application is Wednesday, December 4th at 11:59 p.m. So you got all day on December 4th to finish that up. And don't forget to either register a brand new profile or just log into your older profile that you have for the opportunity portal at rack.org/apply. And don't forget to ask questions. We're here to help out whenever you do. Don't wait for the last minute to apply. We will do our best to answer all questions up to, you know, the evening, let's say, on December 4th. And if you're using the RAC application portal, presents a barrier to apply, please just let us know, and we will work with you as well. So the selection process, we have a panel of artists, county representatives, and project team members with diverse backgrounds and approaches to our that will select the artists for this opportunity. Artists are going to be selected based on their ability to demonstrate originality of vision, their relation to the key concepts of their works, overall suitability for the public display as well. So as I was mentioning, your examples of work are kind of key for the panelists to be introduced to the work that you have. We also have a tip here of your statement of interest and images breathe life into your application. So please be clear and authentic and true to yourself.
Yeah. And remember, think about your images in high quality. Think about your images being pretty clear. Um, uh, Also, I just want to say, Mario, I forgot to we do work on behalf of both the City of Portland and Multnomah County. And just so it's clear, this project is a City of Portland project. So it's going to be city representatives. That's my bad. I forgot to change that. But we also do a lot of work for the county too. And sometimes on other projects, it will be county. But for this one, it is City of Portland.
So The process and timeline. So Wednesday, December 4th at 11:59 is, of course, the application deadline. So December through February of 2025, the panel is going to review and artwork is going to be selected. From March through June of 2025, we're going to be acquiring and then, of course, documenting and framing the work that was selected. July and August of 25, we have slated for the artwork to be installed at the community center. And then, as we had mentioned earlier on to late summer or early fall of 2025, the center is going to be open.
So this is our final goodbye. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. So both Mario and I are facilitating this process. So here are our emails addresses in case you have any questions, or if you have any specific questions for the opportunity portal, we do have a colleague that manages that. His name is Nikki Cook, and that is his email. I'm gonna stop sharing, but Mario, is there anything else we want to say before we let folks go?
I think we covered it all.
We did.
Well, actually, there was one question I had because it always
Okay.
comes up for me. When we start an application on the portal, can we save the work we've already put into it and then come back to it? Or do we have to finish
Yes.
it all in one sitting?
Yes, you can. I sometimes it may though need just whatever your draft is. So like if you don't, there are certain boxes that are like absolutely need to be filled in. So, if you need to just put something in order to save that, but you can save it and then come back to it and edit it as needed. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's all the questions that we may have. And once again, if you have questions about the portal itself, contact our colleague, Nikki Cook, which is ncook@rac.org.
This was fun. Thanks for doing this, Mario.
Absolutely, it was fun.
Awesome. Okay, y'all. Well, take care and hopefully we see your application. Bye.